Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday evening. And you know what Monday evening means? It means battle circuit, which to you and me means 300 horsepower, short wheelbase, RX supercar lights, whizzing around various small circuits around Europe, and one or two others dotted around all over the place. This tonight is round 6, and yes, those of you who are eagle-eared, if you can be eagle-eared, if you can't, then you'll have to be something else. But those of you that are smart and have noticed have probably worked out that the South African guy's turned into an English guy and almost doubled his age. So he's gone from 27 to 54 and changed his accent completely and moved a few thousand miles. But other than that, everything else is pretty much the same. So, like I was saying earlier on when nobody could hear me, which was a great waste of my great voice, but I was waffling on and nobody was listening to a bloody word I was saying, which probably was good. Anyway, this is round 6. It's at Catalunya or Barcelona, depending on your preference, but it's still in the same place. The previous 5 rounds the first 3 rounds, if I remember rightly, were won by Kenny Shep, so we had a bit of a monopoly on it. And then the next 2 rounds we had Jeff and we had Dusty taking those 2 rounds. So it's spread about a bit. And like I say, it should be good fun, usually close quarters racing. It should be a giggle. There should be a lot of fun, and that's my phone going off, not a load of dogs barking. Anyway, first of all, before we get going, we do like a 2-lap sort of reconnaissance. Call it what you want to call it, but it's a bit of a 2-lap parade. Gives the guys a chance to sort of have a little go around the circuit just before we get going for real, and just get everyone reacquainted, shall we say, for want of better words. But hopefully that'll be all good to go. So like I say, this one, it's just 2 laps. It's just to get everyone up and running and get them comfortable with everything that's happening. And then hopefully they'll be all right and ready, raring to go for the 2 8-lap races and the 12-lap race that we do. So we're just going to have a look. We're sat on Jeff's knee at the moment. I'm sure he doesn't mind, although I do weigh about 17 stone, so it's not helping his car much. That's the back of his car, which is probably something I'd see a lot if I was here. It almost looks like it says Type Joff on the back of his car, but it doesn't. That's his roof, that's his bonnet, that's his bumper, that's his onboard, that's trackside. That's where we want to be, so we can see everybody. That's really what we want. So hopefully everyone will get off and we'll have a little 2-lap battle to get everyone comfortable and acquainted with the vehicles that they are going to be driving for the next, 45 minutes or so. Something like that. So, yeah, just saying to the chat, Kyle, who can't be with us today because his head's in the shed. That's as much as I'm going to say, but it sounds good. Below Standard Gaming says hello. Yes. There's nothing like below standard gaming apart from scraping the barrel gaming. Palm says hello, which is pretty good because he's on the track. But I'll try and talk back to you if any of you talk to me. So here we go. 2-lap shootout. Rock and roll. Oh, somebody didn't start. Is that Palm? Did Palm not start? What happened? I'm just looking at the replay there. I have no idea what happened, but I'm going to keep this one in chase for the moment, in trackside. Because it might give me the best view, certainly on this track. This is where you've got like your double apex coming in, which it looks a lot tighter on the map, but it's a pretty good double apex if you can get around it. Let's move around a bit. So Jeff and Tom, Mr. Gutterpunk there in second. Dusty and Mark Ratek he's trying to go for the over-under, is he? Oh no, he decides to put Dusty up the bottom. Nothing wrong with that. Get it out of the way. CMCF1, who we've not seen for a little while, but he's back with us from the States. He's jumped into the car that I would normally drive, and he'll probably drive it better than me anyway. And where's Roy? Roy is now... this is Drunk Cameraman. Look, that's Roy. No, it's not. That was grass. Here comes Roy. I know it's green, but he's not quite grass. MTF1 is Mr. Palm, who didn't get to start, but did eventually. I know what he was doing. He was trying to shed a little bit of extra weight. He got rid of that front bumper for a bit of aerodynamics. the airflow through underneath the bottom of the car. That probably looks pretty good. In all fairness, whether that works or not, I don't know. So as we come into lap 2, oops, that didn't quite go to plan, did it, Jeff? Go on, admit it. You will have to. Anyway, Tom takes the first race, which doesn't really count because it's not really a race. So sorry, mate, you didn't get anything from that, apart from the fact that he did a 47.5 lap, which was beaten by Dusty Bin. He did a 47.4. But as a bit of a taster, I think there's not much in it for everybody, is it? It should be much of a muchness. It should make for some good close racing and some good battles, hence the name Battle Circuit, because you're going around the circuit and you're battling, so why not? I'll give Kyle the kudos for that. That was his thought. Whether he plagiarised it from somewhere else, he can tell me later, but it went well. So what you'll expect to see is in our middle one, it'll change from 2 laps to 8 laps. So the first 2 races will be 8-lap races, and then we'll finish off with a 12-lap race for the grand finale, as one might say. So that should be good fun for everybody. So of course we'll just be waiting for people now to get down and do their stuff. And once everybody's ready, we'll get the thumbs up and so forth. It should be fun for them. I think this will be quite good, personally. It's one of the better circuits to use. In truth, it's one of the ones that is better suited, shall we say. I think that's fair to say, if I'm honest. Some are better than others, but you get 1 or 2 that are quite tight, which are you can't avoid a bit of contact, which is a pity sometimes, but some of these are really good, to be honest. So hopefully we shall have some good close racing, which is what we want to do. And like I said, the good thing about being sat in here is nobody's going to be able to hit me. That is a novelty, but it's something. No, it's pretty good. It's not a bad thing. I'm not against it. So we'll wait and see what sunny Spain has got for everybody. Who's going to win? Who's going to get what? Obviously, the one thing I didn't say is the field is randomised. So the grid is randomised. It's just good luck or bad luck if you end up on the front or the back or whatever. And for Tom, he's out on the front. So got a Punk and Palm. So Tom and Mida are on the first row. So got a Punk and Palm on the first row. Kenny and Ratek on the second row. CMCF1 and Roy Rock is on the third row. Good old Dusty and Joff on the back row. I'm sure he's really pleased about that. I'm sure they're both really pleased about that. Not. Don't think I would have been, but hey ho, it is what it is. It's luck of the draw. It could happen to everybody, anybody. So I'm going to put them up there. I like having the map up and the speedo up. But we don't want them because there's none of them yet. So guys are doing the last minute things, like tweaking the gears. I don't know if they'll max out the 3.875 ratio on here for the 114, but I don't think there's anywhere really that'll sort of hit that type of speed. But so they might just be able to go with the basic sort of rallycross settings, which might work out from a gear ratio perspective, because it is obviously much smaller. Right, everybody's got themselves sorted. Hopefully they've all got enough fuel. I know Tom's got 10 litres. And away they go. They're flying away. Tom gets a damn good start. And what we got, Kenny and Palm right alongside each other. They look like twins, don't they? That's because they look alike. It looks like a lockout for these two front teams, with Ratek coming up into 4th place. CMCF and Rock there. What happened to Dusty? Did he not get the start? I'm trying to look down there a bit, trying to see where we are with everybody. So CMCF1 is at the back there. Dusty, Palm must have had a bit of a jump there. CMCF1 there. Here we go. We've got a little gaggle coming around there, which is Jeff, Roy, Dusty, I think that's Dusty in the red, isn't it? Is that Dusty in the red, or have I got it wrong? He's in the yellow one. I think I've got it right. Yeah, he's in that one, isn't he? So up at the front here now, so we got Ratek who's made his way up into third with Dusty in fourth just behind him. So I think Dusty will be looking to try and get the pressure on Ratek soon enough. Kenny's made his way up into second, so he'll be looking to get some pressure in on Gutterpunk. Tom there, as we come in through the double apex. Decent exit there from Tom. But Kenny is gaining inexorably here. Everyone's still pretty close, which is good. There's a little bit of gap between everybody, but everyone's got a little battle going on. So, in all fairness, Gutterpunk's still got that lead on Kenny. He's still pulling that lead back in. Kenny might try and catch him up now coming into the cornering, because Kenny's pretty good in powering out of these. But in fairness to Tom, he's maintaining that. He's maintaining that quite well. So I will dare for the moment to have a little run through the field, but I might just wait for this double apex as they all come flying around, because this can be, you get this wrong and it's a real coster, because you come out of that, it's almost a treble apex, isn't it? Because you come out of that, the double apex, and you're straight into another turn, as you can see from the track map there. So it is, there's not a lot of straight line racing, in truth. You've just got pretty much the start finish straight and the back part of the straight. But he's keeping that lead. He's got 0.8 of a second and he's maintaining that. So let's dare to have a little flick. So we've got CMCF1, who in fairness to him is coming into this pretty blind. So just to finish will be good. Him and Roy is again a field. Actually, he's a small hillock, and I did say hillock, not pillock or any other words. But so those three even are having a good battle with Palm. Then there's a bit of a gap then, and you've got the front five really. There's not much in it. So Jeff is there with Ratek there in fourth. Dusty managed to get past him, which is nothing to be ashamed of. Dusty will be trying his best to get up to the top two, but we're only halfway through, so he's got a pretty good chance of. Kenny has finally started to reel Tom in a bit, but him and if those front two do start to battle a bit, that's probably going to play into Dusty's hands, maybe even Ratek, and Jeff's there just behind him. I think we're split between those five and the other three. I think just basically because of how the start was, but Kenny's having a look. I'm going to stay with this camera angle because in truth around these tracks I don't think the others are going to benefit much. If anyone knows any better, let me know, but I think trackside is probably going to give me the best view of anywhere around here. Ooh, Tom's just drifting a bit there, but that's going to cost him straight line speed. So Kenny's going to have a look here. Oh, just didn't get any overlap. Oh, he might have now. He has. There, he's just outbraked him, I think, into that, and that's brought Dusty back into it as well. That's brought Dusty right back into it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kyle saying he loves this track. Oh, no, is that Dusty? No, it's is it Tom? Oh, Tom. That's unlucky, mate, because you've had a good start. You had an awesome start. That's so unlucky. So it's going to be Kenny and Dusty fighting this out, I think. I do like this track, I've got to be fair. I as much as I don't like Catalunya as an all-out racetrack, I do like this because it is nice and wide. It's really a good layout for these cars. It does suit pretty well. Well, we are really spread out now, as you can see off that track map, but that's a real shame for Tom. That's gutting. Forgive the pun for the gutter punk, but so this is where it's going to be. It's going to be a fight to the finish. A lap and a bit to go, so Dusty's going to have to pull out all the stops here. There's a good battle going for third and fourth between Ratek and Jeff as well. But and also a good battle for sixth and seventh between Palm and CFCF1. So, but I think Kenny's going to have to pull it all out here to keep Dusty off, because he don't want to give Dusty that inside line around any of these corners. But I think, yeah, he's going to stay tight, isn't he? Can't say I blame him for that. Dusty's going to have to either do why it doesn't change the angle there, I don't know, because it's just missed that completely. This is where I thought Dusty might be able to get back around, but Kenny's managed to cover it. This is so much like one of their rallycross races, isn't it? Let's be fair. Is Kenny going to hold out here? Oh, we lost CMCF1. I think Kenny's just going to hold on here, isn't he? Is he going to keep it? That's the question. Dusty's having a look. See, he's trying to bluff him and get on the inside, but Kenny's not having none of it. Kenny's covering that. That's good defensive driving, because I think pace alone, Dusty would be in front here. And I don't think... He has found some good pace. He's just sitting in there, but Kenny just wouldn't give him an inch. And the reason why he could sit on his backside like that was probably a bit of drafting. That was a good finish to him. Just such a shame for Tom. That was gutting. I mean, he's ended up fourth, which isn't bad for that. Good third for Jeff. Good fourth for Tom. Ratek has now turned into a grassy knoll. I suppose he's been worse, but it was good fun, wasn't it? That was quite riotous. There, now everyone else is a grassy knoll. Look at some nice, I don't know, barbed wire fencing and some grass. Oh, as if we don't see all of that. Roy is somewhere over by the ambulance. I don't know what's going on there. It's a bit early for an ambulances. That's normally me. So again, look at some of those lap times. 46.4 from Dusty. 46.7 from Jeff. 47.2 from Tom. 47 dead for Ratek. 47.5 for Palm. 48.6 for Rock. They're all pretty close. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with CMCF1. I saw him fighting, I think it was 5th, 6th and 7th between three of them. So they were all pretty close at that point, so I'm not sure what happened there, to be quite honest with you. It's a pity, really, you don't get, with the cameras, and I hope they do this with whatever game supersedes this, or other games that come out, and please don't say Project Cars 3 for Christ's sake, but for whatever game properly supersedes this, then you would hope that when it comes to the broadcasting suite, that it'll take a step further and you can sort of have all the camera angles viewable by me or the person who's here doing it, so we can actually see what's going on everywhere, even though you can only see one screen. And we're going to go to an 8-lap race again now. And for those of you that are eagle-eyed, not eared, you may notice the weather forecast. It could be about to go a little bit damp, so get your umbrellas ready, people. You could be needing them. We'll just wait and see. Obviously, we'll see if CMCF1 is going to be back with us. I mean, he did just jump in and hope that he could come. I think just trying to find, just to clarify if he is coming back in. I hope he is. He might have found it a bit. It looks like not, unless he just thought it was one race. I don't know. I can't answer you that one. I'm really not too sure. But hey, as it is, the show must go on, as they say. It is what they say anyway, because I just said so. So if I said, then they may say. So the rain in Spain is going to fall mainly on the track. I know it doesn't rhyme, but tough. There's no planes here. It might look like a very small runway, but it's not a plane. Right, umbrellas out, raincoats on, but no flashing. And that includes the lights. You should all put your lights on, it's raining. That means it's darker and no bugger can see you. Anyway, as you can see, the random grid has we now have the Magnificent 7 then, without our fellow from the US of A. So Jeff has got a front row seat, as has Roy, so he'll be pleased about that. He's also got the inside line there, if I remember rightly. Dusty and Ratek, 3rd and 4th, so Kenny might be looking at that and thinking, you're just in front of me, but obviously you want to try and keep tabs with him, because they're probably the top two to watch. plenty of the others have got a chance as well, but I would say they're the top 2 seeds and then not much between everybody else. So here we go again for a second time around. Great start from Jeff. I think Roy's managed to get himself bogged down a little bit into that. I'll keep it on there. Everyone's close. Somebody's gone wide. I didn't know whether that was Kenny or Dusty. Was it Kenny? I don't know. Someone went. There was a few wides there, but that's played into the hands of Jeff, who's managed to get himself 1.25 seconds to boot. Closely followed by Roy, who's managed to keep that second place, so well done for that, because it looked like he was going to get overwhelmed at one point, but he managed to hold it for a bit. Ah, no, something's gone wrong. I'm just trying to look and see if it shows me anything on a replay, but he's ended up in a bale of tyres. So that's a bit bum. Might have got pushed out a bit, but I can't tell you for definite. Tom has also done a bit of load shedding, but not in the way that you South Africans get it, but he's just shed a bit of extra weight. Kenny's in 5th with his. Ratek is his teammate who's in 4th. It's not that, they just thought they both wear the same dress, didn't they? It's like turning up in a nightclub and your missus has got the same dress on as somebody else. Anyway, Dusty Bin's in 3rd. He's going to chase down the front 2 because Jeff got a good start. He managed to get across right the way across and got a lightning start, and that's nearly a 2-second lead he's got out there. Meader's done far better in this race, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, to get himself up into a 2nd place, Mr. Palm. So he's in a pretty good spot there. If you've got clean air in front of you, that's going to help. It's going to be a bit tougher in this, isn't it, with the rain, but it's how these guys manage to get used to it. So as Jeff comes around there, Palm just comes around, and Dusty. Kenny is now turned into some grassy knoll with fencing. But Kenny's under a bit of pressure here from Ratek. So we'll just keep an eye on this for a moment. All this is playing into Tom's hands because it's giving him a nice lead, although Palms did bring that down a bit, but Ratek just can't quite get around it. Tom's not having the best of races, and unfortunately for Roy, he ended up I think he ended up in a tyre bale, so he's probably got some suspension damage. That's an interesting way to go, Tom. When you're watching this later, you can laugh at that. But you've been caught red-handed. I know you didn't mean it, mate. Anyway, Ratek and Kenny. I know the front 2, there's only a second between them, but this is a slightly tighter battle at the moment, if the good old graphics on here will let me see. It's further away than it looked. But there's a final battle coming on. You know, everyone's staying relatively close, barring a few sort of mishaps that take place, which is really difficult not to have with, in this case, 7 cars, but sometimes up to 12 cars on a very small track. It takes a fair bit of effort to keep these things within the white lines and not be touching anyone else. But Dusty's, is Kenny catching Dusty closely? There's little bits. But he's managed to get himself away from Ratek. He's opened up a bit of a lead. So let's go from back to front a second. Oh, poor old Roy's just lost it there in that corner. I think it's the same place where he did before, was it? So he might be throwing this one, but never mind. Car's probably well wrecked now. I would imagine that front end suspension's going to be pretty tough to steer around. So Tom is trying to chase his teammate. Is that his teammate Ratek? No. Yeah, it is. They are. They've got the same cars, haven't they? Yes, of course they have. What didn't I know? They're like a couple of owls, aren't they? So Tom's trying to chase him down. In the meantime, we've got Kenny, who's caught up with Dusty and Palm, because them two sort of battling. They've all slowed each other down now. These 4 are starting to bunch up a bit now. Palm was slowly reeling in. Oh, he's just got a bit wide there. He might have relinquished that. Yeah, he has to Dusty. He just went a bit wide, caught a little bit of curb. That takes all the pace out of it. Then you got Dusty and Kenny. So Palm's going to be under some severe... He's going to get double teamed here. He's under some severe pressure now coming into this. But these 4 are kind of really bunched this. Oh, is he getting through? Is Kenny getting through? He is. Is Palm coming back for a look? He's trying, but he's not going to get there. he'd do well to get past Kenny, even if he's got the pace to stay with him. Barring a mistake, that is. So, I would imagine that Jeff at the moment is sweating like the accused, waiting for his sentence to be handed down, but he's still doing well. Kenny went wide. Did Kenny go wide there? Was that Kenny that went wide? I think it was. He lost an awful lot of ground, which is music to Jeff's ears. But we'll stay at the front, as much as I like to be able to showcase everybody, but at the moment this is where it is, and considering we've only got a lap and a squidgy bit left, then it makes sense to stay here. So Dusty's trying to reel Jeff in. Kenny's not going to catch him now. Not a chance. That running wide for Kenny is costing big time. It lost a lot of time from that, and he's never going to get it back. Oh, Jeff! What's happened there? Oh, what's happened there? Who did it? What the hell happened there? It wasn't... That wasn't Lapping Roy, was it? Is that Lapping Roy? Oh, I hope that don't cost him. It was, wasn't it? He was Lapping Roy. Shit. That's a shame, but... So I hope you still keep this now, because it'd be a gutter to lose it because of that. And he's gone wide. It might give Dusty the chance. It's giving him... He's going to have a look. He is going to have a look here and see. I think he might hold on. Is he going to hold on to this? Oh, he's offered him. He's offered him the inside. Dusty's going to take it. He is going to take it. Oh, Dusty takes it. Oh, that's a bit gutting. Kenny got right back up there. Oh, that's got to be gutting for Jeff. I'm saying that I don't know it, but I'm assuming that he's come round the corner to lap Roy and he's hit him or whatever. Again, that's just supposition from my perspective because I don't know it for an absolute definite. But it certainly looked that way. Still a good second place. I'm sure I'd have took that from the beginning, but again, not a massive difference with the lap times considering the rain. Doesn't slow them down massively, does it? A little bit, yes, but these cars don't really rely on grip anyway, do they? So it's not really going to affect them that much. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I'm really not sure. I hope it wasn't what I thought, but I mean it can't be helped. It really, really is tight. I think he might have come round onto Roy, and it's not as if you get blue flags and you know what's going on really. So that might have been a very unfortunate state of affairs, but Dusty will be happy with the win. I think Jeff would have taken second place at the beginning. He managed to fend off Kenny, so in all fairness, he did take advantage of getting on the front row, and he did well. Excuse me while I have a drink of an unnamed sugar-free pop drink. But they're not paying us, so I'm not gonna tell you what it is. But if they do want to pay us, then I'll be quite happy to say it. So any manufacturers of pop drink who want to pay RaceSpace lots of money, we will definitely plug your product. Feel free to send lots of cash my way. I'll give you my PayPal address later if you want it, but because we could all do with the cash anyway. Anyway, now is the 12-lap finale. That's 4 laps more than 8. For those of you that can't count, for those of you that can, it's still 4 more laps than 8. So this is it. This is where it all happens. And for those of you that think these races are pretty quick, yes, they are. But you want to try doing one. It takes a little bit out of your arms and your wrists. And no, we're not having any dirty jokes. It's before the 9 o'clock watershed. Well, it is in the UK anyway. In South Africa, it's past 9 o'clock. So I could say a dirty joke in South Africa, but in the UK, it's still PG time. Although if you see any films that are PG and see some of the language that are in it, they'd have been an adult film in my day, just because they had certain naughty words in them with 1 syllable and 4 letters. Anyway, enough of all that rubbish. This is the main event of the evening. Introducing first. 7 people, all driving in the same type of car, with the same engine, with different skill sets, or running around a small track in Spain. To hopefully take all the gusto, carry away all the babes, and just be Duke Nukem for the night. For those of you that are old enough to have played Duke Nukem, you know exactly what I mean. For those of you that haven't, Google it. So, Dusty must be well happy to be in that position. I actually think that's a better race position than Palms on the inside. I think the outside is the better one. I think you get a better run into the corner. If you get a good start, you got a much better angle. So you've got those two on the front. So Dusty and Palm on the front. Kenny and Jeff on the next two rows. They tried to keep this pretty competitive, to be fair. Ratek and Roy on the third row, and poor old Tom right at the back. Mr. Gutterpunk. Hopefully he'll get some luck this time. It's about time. And the same for Jeff. So again, they will want to put a bit more... I forgot to put the speedo up and the map up last time, didn't I? So again, all right, there's no mess in there for Dusty. He's gone for 20 litres. It's more than enough, but I don't think a couple of extra litres makes a massive difference in these cars. So, ready to run, waiting for that rapid start of Dusty, which he gets. That's the perfect scenario from there. You just get such a good run. If you get a good start, you're flying, which is what Jeff did in the last race, wasn't it? So, Dusty away, Palm got away well. Jeff gets himself into third. Kenny might just get past Ratek on the inside of the next one. Ooh, I think they both pushed each other a bit, but I think they managed to hold the ground okay. So I think everybody got away reasonably safely there, didn't they? Certainly looks that way. As Dusty, really, with open ground, barring a mistake, you should say he should take this, really, even from this far out. You're not really expecting too many people to be massively faster than him unless he makes a mistake. Kenny's the one most likely to sort of try and reel him in. But in fairness, we've had pretty good performances from Palm, from Tom. We've had pretty good performances from everybody in the different races. They've just not all had the best of luck, in all honesty. So Dusty there leading from Palm, who's managed to get right in behind. And again, I think another thing is, if you're out in front, you've got the clean air, you can ram the laps out and get the times. But I think if you're the cars behind, because it is so close, it almost becomes like NASCAR. You're probably wondering what the hell I'm on about, because there's nothing like NASCAR. I'm meaning from the can't even say perspective now, but from the perspective of drafting a little bit. Because each car is going to be able to draft on the next one if they're all close enough. And what you end up with is a train that looks a bit like this. Whereas you got all the cars pretty close together, and if nobody makes a mistake, it's just going to be like Bump Draft City for the next 9 laps. But obviously, because the cars are so tight together, if somebody brakes slightly before somebody else, then you've got the danger of having your rear end rearranged. So, it takes more than just chucking a car around on a track. And it is good fun, I've got to say that. It's annoying if you get it and you get knocked off, but if the mistakes stay out of it, it's pretty damn good fun. But it wears you out. You'd be surprised what 2.8 in a 12-lap race, what you feel like after the 3. It's pretty heavy going. So, here we go. 3 laps done. Quarter of the way through. Dusty's got your lead. He's got Palm basically virtually on his gearbox. Those two have got a little bit of a gap, about 0.8, 0.3 quarters of a second to Kenny, who I'm sure will reel that in. I think Palm was having a look there. It's... Again, different people have got different thought processes. My thought process is I'd rather leave it for a couple more laps until I'm absolutely sure I can pull it off, because if you don't pull it off, you end up losing out. You lose quite a bit of pace to the guy in front, which is what he's done. But I'm sure it'll come back in because he'll get it from the draft if he can get close enough. Kenny obviously is now trying to get close in to Palm, and he'll hope to get a draft off him. He's probably now got himself a little bit of a gap to Jeff. Jeff's got a bit of a gap between Ratek and Tom Gutterpunk there just in behind. But again, there's not a lot between these 6. In scale terms, 100 metres, 100 yards, not much. But Palm's having a look. He's putting Dusty under a bit of pressure here. And he's looked a couple of times coming round there, but I think he'll get... Coming into the corner, he seems to be carrying this pace, but obviously because Dusty's car is there, it can't disappear. So he loses a bit of that pace that he gains. And again, he keeps the pace by going round the outside. If he could maintain that all the way through, then that would be great. He might get past, but the only hope he's got is really trying to get a mistake out of Dusty, because Dusty's going to hold that line. Unless unless Mida can get down the side of him here. But that's going to pull these other two in. That's going to pull in Kenny and Tom. Because again, now we're only halfway through. He's having another look. But he's caught. Did he catch the curb there? Not sure. The angle took me away from it a bit. But again, these front 4 or 5 is a battle royale, I think. I think Tom's fallen off the back a little bit. Probably trying to overdrive to catch up with these 4, but it's no mean feat keeping up with these 4 because they're setting a pretty damn good pace. Fastest lap was Dusty 46.682. Kenny just beat it by 0.003 of a second, which is probably a very, very small gnat's thingamy-bob. It's as much as I'm going to say, but it's not much. So, no offence to the other guys, but I'm going to stay with these 4. They're leaving Jeff a little bit behind. He's getting dropped off the back a little bit. So he needs to try and pull himself back in, otherwise he will just lose any draft he might get. And that might just leave him cut adrift. So hopefully, from his point of view, he wants to get 2 or 3 good laps in to try and get back with these 3. Because I have no doubt whatsoever that by the time we get to lap 10, I'm expecting at least the 3 cars to be pretty close up to each other. And it is good racing tonight. I agree with you wholeheartedly there. Oh, what's happening? Is that Roy? Yeah. He just lost that a bit there, I think. And I think he just looked and saw what happened in the last race and thought I'd get out of the way and sacrifice myself. So kudos to you for that. Yeah, Mida's having a go. He's having a go. He's lost a bit of track to Dusty now. I think he's tried it 2 or 3 times, and if you try it and don't achieve it, you invariably lose time. But again, this is the 2/3 part now, so we're 8 laps of 12. And it's still, there's a bit of a gap. Dusty's got himself a second, or give or take, depending where you are on track at the time. Which, from here, looks a good lead. Kenny looks as if he's going to have a go. Yeah, he did. Has he got it? Will Palm get it back? Will he get the switch back? No, Kenny's got too far in front. That's interesting. Yeah, because a little bird just told me that Palm obviously, well, I know Palm hasn't had an event win out of the first 4. The other 3 guys have all won an event. Obviously, Kenny winning the 3, Dusty winning 1, and Jeff winning 1 last week. So Palm's the only one who hasn't actually got a physical event win. He's got pretty good pace, so he's there or thereabouts most of the time. The thing with this is if you can keep yourself out of trouble, you can make sure you're not part of any accident or any collateral, then if you've got reasonable pace, then you're going to be there or thereabouts, and that's what makes this type of racing the fun element that it is in that respect. Like Dusty, obviously with a clear air, he's got nothing blocking him now. He can just drive his own laps and wrap his own laps out. Again, did a 46.5 last time out, so that was the new fastest lap of the race. So we got coming to the end of lap 10. I thought the other 2 might have got a bit closer to him, but I think their fight him probably played into his hands. But Palm managed to get close to Kenny. He's managed to sort of stay there. He lost a bit of ground initially when he tried to switch back, and it wasn't quite there, but he might be able to play the same game with Kenny now. And I'm really pleased that the camera angle doesn't let me see it, because it doesn't, which is a bit bum. The only other way of doing it is to go like this, and I don't know what sort of an angle this is going to give me, but we'll have a look. So I'm going to jump onto Kenny's roof. There's a bit of a bump there between the 2. That's not a bad angle from Tom, actually. Looking at Tom's car and looking at Kenny and Jeff from here. Wish there was a better view, actually. But that's pretty good. That's kind of by accident, but it's a pretty good view of those two. Jeff's going to have a go at going wide and coming back in. He's got a bit of ground on him. He made a bit of ground. Oh, it technically might have been a bit off track there. That's a bit... that was possibly a bit naughty. But I understand what he was trying to do, but it could have come out badly. So luckily it came out okay. Let's get off the roof. If I can get off the roof, that is. Let's get back here. So Jeff has now dropped down to 4th. Might be better off holding on for that. So I think he went for a gap that wasn't properly there as Dusty takes the win. So well done to you on that one. That might give Dusty the... I couldn't see the scoring per se, but that might have given it to Dusty. Kenny takes a second. And there's Tom. He's just sat there with his hands on the wheel. He's not even moving. He's in a trance-like state. Quite obviously. He's just not moving at all. All he needs now is a bunch of bananas, and that'll just go with that perfectly. There's Jeff in 4th. I think that was all around pretty close racing, personally. Again, look at lap times. 46.5, 46.6, 46.9, 46.7, 46.7, 46.9, 47.9. Nothing in that. Nothing in that at all. So you've got to say, if that isn't close racing, I don't know what is. But also, we don't just have that. Obviously, we have a vote for driver of the day, which all the other drivers get to vote for. So it's a bit like the football writers' player of the year. You know, their fellow racers get to vote for them and decide who they are, and make that decision. So you'll have your event winner, of course, who is the person with the most points over the 3 races. And then you will have a driver of the day as voted for the gents. So that's usually, that'll probably be done retrospectively. We probably won't get to do that here and there, but if you do jump onto the Race Space Discord, then you will see all that information on there. If you liked what you saw, if you do like racing and you like this type of racing, whether you're watching this live or you watch it retrospectively, if you're on the Race Space YouTube channel and you watch a bit of this, you fancy getting involved, then just give any of us on PlayStation a message. See all these names that you see up there, drop one to any of us, and we can let you know what to do from there. So that was our magnificent 7 for the evening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a laugh. I hope you had a blast. I certainly did. It was weird to be sat in this chair again for a while because I've done this for quite a bit, but it was actually nice for a change to see everybody else running around. And in the main, they were pretty good, clean races. Not too many incidents, and that's testament to the guys having respect for their colleagues, which is what you want when you're racing. You know, above all, the one thing you want to do is have respect for everybody. And if everybody is respectful, then that is always good. So, on behalf of me and all the rest of Race Space and everybody else involved, hope you had a damn good evening. I certainly did, but I'm going to have a drink now because I'm parched. So, we'll be back again next Monday. Same time, not the same place, with different people, doing the same things in the same cars. If you got that and got confused, don't worry, so did I. Until next Monday, we will see you then. Have a good evening and have a good week, and I hope you enjoyed your bank holiday.